what do you think is the most misunderstood part about being an elite shooter?
Oh, I could talk about this for 5 hours. I could make a whole podcast series about this, but um, my short answer will be the idea of reps over everything. It's not necessary. Of course, you need to get a lot of reps in and you have to have your form and everything dialed in. But to be a truly elite shooter, and I'm delusional. I think I'm as good of a shooter as Steph Curry, but I also know I'm not as good of a shooter as Steph Curry. But to be a truly elite shooter at let's say like at least the high levels in college and then into pro, it's more about how can I improve at game speed when people are going to be chasing me and their sole goal is to not let me shoot. How can I improve at that speed and at that intentionality rather than, hey, this summer I just shot 50,000 shots on the gun from the corner, from the wing, from the top, and from the other side. Like the intentionality of how you get to become an elite shooter is more important than X amount of reps, or like we said earlier, 10,000 hours, so to speak. It's more about how can I really figure out what my reps are going to look like in the game, and how can I practice those reps over and over and over exactly how they're going to come in the game, so that when that game comes, I trust myself and I know, hey, in practice, I shot this percentage or whatever it may be. In the game, I know I'm ready to shoot 40% from three. Whereas sometimes you see guys who are elite practice shooters or elite workout shooters making 80%, 85% of their shots in practice. But once it gets to the game, maybe they don't trust themselves or they don't trust what they've been doing or they haven't been going game speed in those reps, whatever it may be. So I really think like focusing on getting those game reps is what develops elite shooters. And you see it like even if you just watch 30 seconds of a Curry workout, he's not even, as crazy as it sounds, like he's almost running more than he's shooting in his shooting workouts. Whereas you see some guys, whether it's college, high school, even pros, that get in 1,000 shots, but how many of those shots that they just shot they'll actually get in a game that year? Like that's before you get to your next question, I'll be wrap this up in 20 seconds. But another thing I tell the kids when I work with them at these camps is like, how many times do you think you shot a top of the key catch and shoot stand still three in your last season? And all the kids are like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times. But in these drills I'm about to show you, like you're gonna shoot shots at full speed at your pace, but full speed in this workout, and then you're gonna translate that into a game. So I think that's like a super important thing to understand for people who want to get to that next level as a shooter.
That's a really good point, man. It sounds so like, yeah, no shit when you talk about it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess I had never thought about, trying to mimic an actual game scenario. I do want to go back to something though. You said at the beginning, you said it kind of jokingly, but it was interesting. You said, I think I'm as good of a shooter as Steph Curry because I'm delusional, but then you quickly said, I know I'm not. So I need you to
Yeah.
expand on that. Where do you stand on the Steph Curry scale?
So I don't know if it's like a skill I have in my own brain or what it is, but I like, as crazy as it sounds, if you put me in a gym with Steph Curry right now, I would believe going into that competition that I was gonna win. And I would believe even after I lost, I would still believe that I should have won or that I would go back again and win. But at the same time, I respect the fact that he's made 4,000 threes in the NBA, whatever it is, and he's had times where he makes 120 threes in a row in a video, like whatever. I I respect so much how great he is at his craft because of how hard I've worked at the craft and the level that I feel like I've achieved. I understand like there are levels to this, but at the same time, as a competitor and as someone who's put in my fair share of time at it, I still feel like I can go in there and I can compete with them.
Two things. One, the reason I ask is because I had, well, A, because I thought it was funny, but B, well, funny how you like quickly said,
Yeah, yeah.
no, I'm not that. I'm actually not Steph Curry. But B, because I had Kyle Sloter on the podcast, who was backup quarterback for the Vikings. He had a brief stint with the Broncos. And he talked about this delusional self-belief that he has. And the example that he brought up was like, hey, if my team was down 3 with 2 minutes left and we needed a game-winning touchdown drive, and you put me, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes on the same field, like I'm choosing me 10 out of 10 times. So
Yep.
it reminded me, like you talking about this delusional self-belief that you have reminded me of Kyle's example. But B, like going back to, or sorry, this is two, not B, but second part of that is going back at the beginning when we were talking about Michael Phelps and just the levels. You had just said it, there's levels to this. Why do you think Steph Curry is better than you? Or let me rephrase that. Why do you think Steph Curry has achieved more success than you have?
Yeah, I think like it's one of those things that with anyone, like we talked about, with anyone at the true peak, the pinnacle of their field, like maybe he's just been willing to sacrifice more than I have, and he's gotten in more hours of intentional work, and he's gotten in more. He's had more situations that he's put himself in to be successful, and he's just really given it. If I've given it, I feel like I've given it 100%, and I know I have deep down, but his 100% might be higher than my 100%, and I think for me personally, like I'm okay with that, and I can live with that. And what I'm giving is I'm giving it everything, and I think I'm doing great, like achieving as much as I can, and I think I'm going to keep climbing. But I think I don't know. I don't want to discount myself, but I think just Michael Phelps, Tom Brady, Steph Curry, like they're just giving more, and they're throughout their whole career they've spent more time, they've given more. Maybe they do have a little more natural talent, but I don't like focusing on that because you can always worry about, oh, this he's taller than me, he's more athletic, he's got more natural talent. I would just give Steph credit and say he's put in the absolute maximum time he could have, the absolute maximum intentionality he could have, and look where it's got him. Versus me, I've put in as much time and intentionality as I could live with myself doing. Like, could I have over the past 5 years? Could I have worked out another hour a day? Like, of course I could have. There's time in the day to do it, like whatever there needs to be done. But I had other priorities. Maybe I should have spent less time like on my phone, like throughout whatever it is. But I can live with like the intentionality and the time that I've spent with what I've done. But I can also accept that, hey, like Steph Curry's on another level. He's done more, and he deserves the success he has. Like I don't think it's necessarily a healthy attitude to say like I've done the exact same amount of stuff as Curry's done, and I can never achieve what he's done because he's he has the natural talent. Like I understand that argument, but at the same time, like I can live with what I've done, and I trust myself and where I've gotten to and where I want to get to, and more power to him.